Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Thompson sitting in for Michelle Malcolm. We're on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Today is October the 12th, which is a Thursday. Something very significant is happening in the country. And there's a lot of talk out there among the Bahamian people about a proposed election, perhaps a by-election. We haven't heard any official announcement as to whether there will be a by-election or a general election, but the talk is that there will probably be a by-election. And you notice I listen to a lot of comments, but not one single word about the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. It amazes me how we think, you know. Bahamians, how we get all mixed up like this. Are your conversations constitutionally sound? Because Bahamians, it means absolutely nothing if you're not constitutionally sound. The Constitution speaks to by-elections. The Constitution speaks to general elections. The Constitution speaks to parliamentary democracy. It also speaks to party representation. We seem to get all mixed up. And I have no problem with people expressing their views because the Constitution gives you the right to express a view. It doesn't have to be constitutionally sound, and most of them are not. I've heard so much crap out there. And Bahamians, we just cannot continue to live like that. We're not going to see any improvement in our country if we do not follow the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. If we do not have leaders who do not follow the Constitution, we're going to have trouble. We have plenty of trouble right now in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Because of the fact that people are making up the rules as they go along, and they're ignoring the Constitution. Some very serious changes have to be made as a people in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas if we're going to move forward. Bahamians, we've been just dancing around for the last 50 plus years, from January the 10th, 1967, right on up to today, October the 12th, 2023. And Bahamians, you have to ask yourself, how far have we come? constitutionally in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Because I see a lot of people, a number of people, say they want to govern this place, but they know absolutely nothing about the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That means we got to cut this foolishness out. And most of you callers are speaking very loosely. You are not fully informed correctly about constitutional issues and how a government ought to function, how a representative ought to function. You get all mixed up with party representation and parliamentary representation. Now, I have to go into that in depth in this show today to give you an understanding from the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is the supreme law, not scraps of paper that political organizations write things on and say they're going to govern by that. We've been fooled for more than half a century with utter nonsense and foolishness. And we have failed to correct a government. You don't even know yourself, so how you can correct them? You ought to know when a representative steps out of line, whether that individual is acting constitutionally or not. And if you remain in ignorance and not understand, we cannot move the country forward. If you allow a government, that's the government of the Bahamas, to get away with violating the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you're asking for plenty of trouble. Payments, we haven't seen the worst of it yet. But we have seen a steady decline in character, in values, in principles, in the way this country has been governed for more than 50 years. It is time that we get serious and correct this mess that we're in. Bahamians, there's a vast difference between a political party and the government of the Bahamas. And a lot of you get it all mixed up. I just listen, I don't say much. Sometimes I might call a talk show to add some clarity. There's a lot of misinformation about the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas by personalities who claim that they know. Bahamians, they don't know. They won't tell you that. They won't admit they don't understand. But they'll want you to believe that they do. All you have to do is check the document, So you can be constitutionally sound and correct. Let me just say this to you. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is never, ever wrong. It is always right. You Bahamians want to be right? Stand on the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, you still can have your political arguments if you want to. The Constitution allows for that. So I'm not going to knock that at all. See, anything that's constitutionally sound, I stand by that. But I'm not going to accept nonsense and foolishness. When you try to make your ideas or your suggestions or your comments that you may hold in your head false information, and you want to pass it off as if it is constitutionally sound, it is not. And that is where Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson comes in, because I have a responsibility to assist the Bahamian people to understand fully this document. You listen to this show on Mondays between 2 and 4. I've been coming here regularly and consistently. Some of these talk show hosts have difficulty getting people to come on to speak to the Bahamian people. They just are not committed to doing anything. That's just how they are. Maybe they have something to hide. People who are well educated, who have knowledge in different areas, but they're not constitutionally sound. That is a major problem in this country. So I listen to all the political parties and those who say they are leaders and top runners in these political parties. Not a single word about the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, just like it doesn't exist. Everything stands or falls on the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter, because it still will stand. You bring this crap before the court, it cannot stand. You bring the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. If the judge head is screwed on wrong, that's his problem. You stick rigidly with the Constitution. I tell people that all the time. A person like me, I stick rigidly with the Constitution. All of our problems could be solved if we were to go by the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Do you know that? Here is a document that our mothers and fathers gave to us. They did not have in their day the tremendous freedoms and privileges that we can use on October the 12th, 2023, and we're not using them. We're not even considering them. That's the problem. And our mothers and fathers have fought so hard to get this document, the most precious document they could give you, apart from the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible is the written word of God. The Holy Bible is always right. It is never, ever wrong. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is always right. It is never, ever wrong. And Bahamians, you need to get that into your psyche. People will talk all kinds of foolishness and nonsense to deceive and mislead you. That's what they've been doing for 50 plus years. But I am delighted to see when Her Majesty the Queen passed and Prince Charles ascended the throne the very day she passed as King Charles of England. And the Bahamian people began to determine what is our future with the monarchy in England. They're starting to look at things a little differently, and that's good. I waited 50 years, Bahamians, for you to get to that point, I didn't have much of a choice because a lot of you just did not know. And I'm not going to blame you for not knowing. I'm just stating the facts as they are. But I'm delighted to see that a lot of you out there are now taking your Constitution seriously. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. But we got plenty of work to do. We have plenty work to do. You know what I've asked you to do? Now, let me just mention something else while it's in my head. You see, the murder count is extremely high in this country. Another one just got killed this morning at 10 o'clock. Baldwin Avenue and Eden Street in Chippingham. Gunned down. We're losing too many males, Bahamians. We have lost plenty males over these many years. We've had no executions for murder. So what has happened? We've had hundreds of people slaughtered, mostly males, every year. We have a tremendous shortage of male power in the Bahamas. Young males, they won't get as young as I am. I don't know what is happening there, but Bahamians, we have to fix that. We are losing those who are supposed to be the future of this country. We just can't keep this foolishness going on. We have to get our people to settle their differences peacefully. Now, we got to find out who are committing these murders, I don't think we know, because let me tell you this. It is not Bahamian to commit murder. It is not Bahamian to commit suicide. I've been looking through my family for the last 70 years on both sides went to the very extent, can't find one single thread of evidence of suicidal tendencies in my family. Not one. Bahamians are not accustomed to committing suicide. I'm a genuine Bahamian, a constitutionally sound Bahamian. But if they're not like me, how could they say they're Bahamian? You need to know what a Bahamian is. Plenty of you may have been misled to believe something else other than what the Constitution says a Bahamian is. That's not the Bahamian way of life. Suicide is not the Bahamian way of life. Now, I've heard some reports about persons who have committed suicide. I think those people need to check thoroughly the background of these individuals and their families and where they came from. We have too many strangers and foreigners and aliens and outsiders in our country. The authorities don't even know who's there. We have no record, no accurate and precise record of who is in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Do you know that, Bahamians? Well, they lump and say they're Bahamians. And so when it gets internationally, they say those Bahamians are they're killing up one another. We have too many strangers, foreigners, aliens, outsiders, persons purporting to be Bahamian. They ain't no Bahamian. I even heard a former commissioner calling them Bahamians. He's sorely mistaken. He's misled. He's deceived. I know what a genuine Bahamian is because I'm one of them. And if they're not behaving the way I do, chances are they may not be a Bahamian. We cannot allow people to define us or have somebody's other label on us to say that's what a Bahamian is. That's not happening with Professor Thompson. No one is going to define. No stranger, no foreigner, no alien, no outsider. That's why I said it is not in the psyche of the Bahamian. I mean, murders are just left, right, and center in this country. So who's responsible for that? Who's responsible for committing suicide? You know the background of these people? But the first thing they say to Bahamians, are they genuinely Bahamian? We need to think about these things because so many strangers have crept into this place, put on their wolves in sheep clothing, and they may look like a Bahamian and pretend to be a Bahamian, but they're not Bahamians. See, you have to know who your people are, you know. See, I can tell who they are because I know. As young as I am, I know a genuine Bahamian, and I know a false one, pretending to be Bahamian, never was Bahamian. So I'm going to have to disagree with the persons putting out these statistics and labeling these people and say that Bahamians are doing those things. You're not going to swing me like that. I won't allow it to happen. And neither should you. Let them do their homework. I've done mine 70 plus years. And I can't find one single thread of evidence of suicide among my family members. On both sides, my mother, my father, gone to the very extent, right to the very end. No evidence whatsoever. And yet they say now Bahamians committing suicide. Give me a break. Bahamians, we've allowed too many people to put labels on us. We listen to strangers, people outside this country, talking foolishness and nonsense. You want them to define you? They're not going to define me. Not Professor Thompson. No way. I will not accept their label. And I don't have to. I'm a genuine Bahamian. They're not. They're strangers. They're foreigners. They're aliens. They're outsiders. And I see plenty inside the constituency where I live. They're walking around as if they own the place. Some of them may look like us, but you just let them open their mouth. You will hear something else. And you say, no, that ain't no Bahamian. But Bahamians, you have to know your people. You got to know who is a stranger among you. I'm not saying we must not be nice to strangers. We just have too many in here that are unaccounted for. That's the problem. Immigration has fallen down badly. Now I heard about a situation that occurred with something to do with the people on Paradise Island about a seaplane landing on the Montague Ramp. And of course the people objected that, and I heard the Minister of Tourism. They call him Deputy Prime Minister. Bahamians, I told you long time, there's no such thing as no Deputy Prime Minister. See, these are the things we do not correct. That's not in the Constitution. But here's this man getting paid as Deputy Prime Minister, which is an unconstitutional office. Now, he may be Minister of Tourism, fine. But if you want it to be there, then you have to change the Constitution. It's just that simple. But you know, the Attorney General has advised them, you don't have to worry about changing the Constitution. We're gonna have legislation, ordinary legislation. Let me just tell you this. Ordinary legislation can't change nothing in the Constitution. Absolutely nothing. It must be a referendum or nothing. That's how locked in this document is. The Founding Fathers didn't want people tampering with it willy-nilly. I'm glad they set it up like that. It's a good thing. But Bahamians, we got to watch the government of the day. Watch what's happening in this country, because some strange things are happening. We have to do something about it. I believe we're going to go for a break. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, True Form, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
We're back. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is a great day to be in the Commonwealth of Bahamas. I'm sitting in for Michelle Malcolm on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. The numbers are 326-0271, 326-0272, and there is another number. I'm looking at it right now. The number is 801-0271. That's three numbers we have there. 801-0271. I'm not too familiar with that one, but I'll just put it out right now. 801-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272. You can call in and you can give your comments. But let me say, in addition to calling in, I want people to get to know people in your communities where you live, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to call on you to do something great for the Bahamian people. It's going to take an organized effort. Now, some people have been calling them for demonstrations, and they can do that if they so desire. But Bahamians, if they call you out to demonstrate, then you should go. But most of you don't come. You may have about 20. If they have 50 people there or more than 50, that's a good crowd. But you have to tell the organizers if that is not effective, and has not been effective. See, if I can call one, you got to have 50,000 or more. And I will know whether you're ready for that. I got lots of experience in this kind of thing, you know. I know whether you're telling me the truth or not. 50,000 or more. Anything less than that, you're wasting your time. We need the numerical strength, because you got some hard-headed, stubborn, difficult personalities to deal with, Bahamians. They've been that way for a long time. They come and they go. They come and they go. And what do? You got 120 out there, 125 out there. It's not working. We have to find creative ways of getting the attention of the governor of the Bahamas. That's what you have to do, Bahamians. Because what we have now, what we've been working, it isn't working. Now you call the shows, that's fine. You express yourself on the airwaves, that's fine. And some of you don't even bother to call. You don't want your voice to be heard. or you're afraid that someone might figure out who it is. So what difference does it make? What are you afraid of? That means we have to do better than that, because it's important that we do what is right, what is just, and what is fair. We have to make a difference in our country. And too many of you have been sitting down for 50 years. You ain't doing nothing. You have seen what has been going on in this place and seen the deterioration in the standards of governance, the standards of our people. See, I got to get on representation, parliamentary representation and party representation. Because you people are all screwed up when it comes to that. And you'll get mixed up like that. And even as I speak to you now, October the 12th, 2023, you do not understand the difference. And we have to be concerned about that, because we aren't moving anywhere. We be just treading water and we ain't going nowhere. 50,000 or more. And we can get that number. How many people we have on New Providence? You got the vast majority of the people living in this country on New Providence. And you can't get a sizable number, 50,000 or nothing. We're not serious. Now, you're going to need numerical strength, Bahamians. You might as well face it, because I told you we got some stubborn, hard-headed, difficult personalities to deal with. And that numerical strength is going to be very important. Now, I've said to you before, get to know the people in your area. Now, with this high crime wave, people are afraid. And you don't know whether you're talking to who. But in spite of that, I've been doing it for more than half a century. But I always say, don't get personal with people. Why you want to get in the man's bedroom business or the woman's bedroom business? Don't do that. Stay out of that. Now, if they tell you something, that's a little different. But you need to get to know your neighbors, Bahamians. The fellow across the road from you, the fellow living next door to you, the fellow living on the left side of you and the right side of you, across the road, down the street. Get to know all the people on that street. Are you doing that? That's a step in the right direction. And communicate what is common to all of you on that street. You see how bad it's being tonight with all this darkness in all the constituencies on the island of New Providence? Poor lighting. BPL is supposed to be providing light services. They're doing a bad job with street lighting. We haven't raised no alarm on that. And people got all these beams all over the place. People doing all kinds of foolishness on the streets in the night. But Bahamians just sit and do nothing. That's how lazy we have become. We've got sucked right in. Do nothingness. And not only that, look at the roads. Look at the big potholes. Coming up here to the station, I had to avoid a lot of potholes. Big ones in the street. You mean to tell me we can't have proper roads? Do you know it's unconstitutional to have roads like that in the Bahamas? Do you know that, Bahamian? That's unconstitutional. Your life is being deprived, Bahamians, by these big holes in the street, all over the place, all over New Providence. We're not doing anything about it. We're not putting the kind of pressure in the right places to get those streets fixed. And don't let it rain. That makes it even worse. And that has been a constant problem for decades in front of people's stores. And the government is collecting taxes from these stores where the water keeps running into the shop. And then people walking on the sidewalks get splashed with dirty water. Some people rushing through the water. Bahamians, we got a lot of work to do, you know. But we've been sitting for too long. Now you need to get up off your butt and get organized and get serious. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we have some very serious, challenging issues that you have not seen as yet. But it's coming. What we have now is rough. But it could be worse if we don't do anything about it. The first thing is to be organized. Get to know your neighbors. Get to know the people on your street. Get to know the people in your community. What is common to all of you on that street? What is common to all of you in that community where you live? That's where it starts, Bahamians. I always draw the analogy with St. Barnabas Church in BTC. All of the people at BTC don't go to St. Barnabas Church. They belong to different churches. But yet they go to BTC Monday morning to do BTC's work. Catholics and Anglicans, and Baptists and Methodists, and Seventh-day Adventists, and all of them. But they're all Bahamians. Well, they should be. Let's put it that way. You might have some others in there who are not Bahamian. But they're all human beings. They have to work. They have to earn money. They have to take care of their children. They have to take care of their expenses. But they go to BTC. Sunday morning, they go to St. Barnabas Church on other churches where they have service. But you don't see the people at St. Barnabas telling all their members, or those who work at BTC, tell them, y'all come now work for BTC. Don't go to them other places. Just come and work for BTC. All of them can't work for BTC. So you will have people from different entities, different organizations, different groupings working the BTC for one cause. Well, then the same people in the community from different groups, different churches, different lodges, different this, different that. But they're all Bahamians. Well, they should be Bahamian. Now, you got some strangers in there, so we can't count them. But I'm saying to you that there must be some commonality among the people for the betterment and for the improvement of that constituency. Where is it? Where do you see the evidence of them coming together to deal with that? Are they communicating with the representative? Because many of these constituencies are in bad shape. Terrible shape. But it's been that way for decades. And we have sat and tolerated this crap. Here it is, October the 12th, 2023. We're still dealing with this foolishness. I am saying to you, people have to be organized. They have to know one another. You have leaders right there in the community. Do you know who they are? That you may have confidence in? That you can elect as your local leaders in your local constituency? Have you ever thought about that? There's a lot of talent in there. There's a lot of potential in there. But we're not tapping into it, Bahamians. We're looking elsewhere. And the very person you need right next door to you, right on your street, right around the corner from you, and you're not paying any attention to that. That's a problem in this country. We're looking elsewhere instead of looking inward. A community, a constituency has tremendous potential in it, and it takes organized effort by the constituents themselves to make a difference in that constituency. That's how it's going to work. Now, let me speak to party representation. Political parties will choose a particular personality to go into an election, whether it's a by-election or a general election. Well, an election is supposed to be coming up shortly. Whether it's got a by-election, perhaps, or something else, but possibly a by-election. And I'm saying to you, the people have an opportunity to choose wisely. Now, the Constitution advises you how to do it, you know. But you don't check no Constitution. See, that's the problem with you as Bahamians. You don't know nothing about the Constitution when it comes to parliamentary democracy. Well, how you all get like this? How you let yourself drop so low 50 years as an independent nation, and still you don't understand how this thing's supposed to work? Has your representative taught you? Have you learned it in school? You didn't learn it in no school now. Because, see, the very people you have been electing don't know the Constitution. See, that's another problem again. You're sending people to the House of Assembly to make laws to rule over you. What kind of crap is that? They don't even understand the document themselves. So what do? They sit in the House of Assembly as party representatives. And they always tell you what party they belong to. It's not important. You don't send people to the House of Assembly to be a party representative. That's foolishness. People who go to the House of Assembly ought to be a parliamentary representative. People who sit in the Senate, parliamentary representatives. You have some appointed, some elected. But we just ain't using the system properly. You got people who go in the upper chamber, then they run back down to the lower chamber. I mean, what kind of crap is this? We've allowed this foolishness for more than half a century, Bahamians. We've never corrected it. We let people play with our democracy in the Constitution. So we are not getting very far in terms of real parliamentary representation. Because the person who sits in the seat, you know, people like to say that's their seat. When I check the Constitution, I don't see no name on it. But it's a seat set aside for each constituency. It has a constituency name on it. That's the only name on the seat. The particular personality who may sit in the seat is to represent the people of that particular constituency. Not just personalities that belong to a political party. Because you see, you don't have to be a member of any political party to be involved in an election. Do you know that? You do not even have to vote for the candidate of that particular party, even if you're a member of that political party. Do you know that? You're not obligated to vote for that person. That person may not fit, don't qualify. It's a complete waste of time. So you're not obligated in any manner, shape, or form to vote for that particular person who may be with the party you affiliate with. See, your party affiliation has nothing to do with parliamentary representation. Absolutely nothing. Two different things entirely. And I hear all this crap running on even before I came to the show, to show the level, the lack of understanding by the people of this country about the parliamentary system we have. They just don't know, so they talk things and they're not constitutionally sound. I heard it no longer than when I was preparing for the show. And I said I would have to speak to that today because, you know, the election is coming up soon. And it's important, Bahamians, that we understand the parliamentary system that we have. We have to protect what we have. Otherwise, we're going to lose it. And you may get something far worse. You know, all these countries in Africa that are experimenting with democracy. The Bahamas, fortunately, has had from 1729 right on up to this day, October the 12th, 2023, a parliamentary system where there has been changes in administrations for the past almost 300 years, 1729 to 2029. It's just a few years short, 300 years of straight parliamentary democracy, in the sense that we have had a peaceful transition from one administration to the next. That's an incredible record. And that is because of the Bahamian people. It ain't nothing to do with no political party. So let me make that clear right off the top. Absolutely nothing to do with no political party. Because you see the fellow who got that big mouth? When he lost, he quietly put his tail between his legs and came out. That's the way it should be. And let us keep it that way. But there's some things we have to do lest we lose that. You wake up one morning and find that you got something strange happen overnight. So we can't just sit back and allow people to walk on us, to mistreat us, to keep using us, to keep beating us into the ground, and all we do is roll right over and say, beat me some more. And we got to cut the foolishness out. We have to make sound decisions and good judgments. We've been a poor judge of character when it comes to personalities to send to the House of Assembly and even in the Senate. Very poor. We say we want people who care about the Bahamian people. We can find them if we're serious. Do we really want them? Are we genuinely looking for the right person in your constituency? Are you prepared to look for the right person to send to the House of Assembly? Are you ready for that? Or are you looking for some other entity to choose a particular personality? And then you say, that's the personality I can work with. Then you get disappointed because the personality let you down. It's been happening for more than half a century in our country. But yet we have done nothing about it. That means we have to wake up. We have very serious social problems in this country. I mentioned murder, very serious problem. We haven't had no elections in many years. I'm not quite sure the number yet, but it's been a long time. So what has been happening to all the people who've been committing murder? Where are they? Are they back on the streets again? We've had a revolving door where you had people out on bail for 2, 3, 4 murders. And then they're being killed. So what's going on, Bahamians? This is a serious issue. One just died around 10 this morning, murdered. It's a very serious problem we have to face, harsh reality. We have to get that fixed. And we have to cooperate with each other. We have to cooperate with the police. They have their share of problems. And sometimes I say to myself, could they really investigate all these things? The murders, the armed robberies, the rapes, the drug cases. You see what kind of pile we put on the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and the numbers are very limited. The number of persons to do all these investigations are extremely limited. Now, they may not want to tell you that, but all you have to do is look at the facts. The evidence is right there in front of you. Some things are going to get left undone. It's just as simple as that. Now, we need to learn how to behave. I'll tell you that. And that's why it's important that we get to know our neighbors, we get to be friendly with our people, We need to talk to them, communicate with them. This is what I do in my area to try to keep the peace. Because all kind of little things are happening. Petty crimes being committed. Statute laws being violated all the time. You think the police can handle all of them? The answer is no. You call them, they don't even show up. So what do? They tell you call the police. If you hear anything, you see anything, you call them. They don't show up. That's a constant problem in this country. Now, if they hear something big going down, a drug deal or murder or something like that, of course, we got to prevent these murders because families are losing relatives. They're losing breadwinners. And Bahamians, it's hurting the country. We have to help. The line's open, 326-0271, 326-0272. You can call in and express yourself. But I like to speak to national issues and constitutional issues because we are flooded with immigration problems. You know, the immigration board is supposed to be the cabinet, headed by the prime minister. The man said he did nothing wrong. Yet we're yet to see the proof with the Haitian man who was given citizenship. The minister said it was his dying wish, and his wife and his 2 daughters, or children. I don't know, maybe 2 boys, 1 girl, I'm not quite sure. But 2 children, that's 4 people who got citizenship. And none of them qualify. You show me the evidence in the Constitution that they qualify. Challenge the government to show you the evidence. And you see this naturalization thing where people applying to be naturalized. You know when that ended? 1974. That's no longer applicable today. That applied to persons from the British Commonwealth. Those who were apart, the British Commonwealth, the colonies, who were involved here in the Bahamians. Now they're giving it to all kinds of people. That's unconstitutional, Bahamians. Naturalization does not exist for those people. It stopped in July of 1974. So where they going with that? But you got a lot of them out there say they're naturalizing them. Utter nonsense and foolishness. But what do? We sit back and do nothing about it. Bahamians, we have very serious issues. The more you sit and the more you wait and you do nothing, it's going to get harder and harder to change it. We'll be back after this break. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson, sitting in Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, True Form, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and Low Profile Tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
We are back. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, sitting in for Michelle Malcolm on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. The lines are open, 326-0271, 326-0272, and the other one is 801-0721, I think it is. Let me make sure. Yes, 801-0271. That's correct. So those are 3 lines you can call in and express your views. And I want you to do more than just expressing your views. You have to do something about it, Bahamians. Because we're living in very dangerous, difficult times. You see what has happened in Israel? The Hamas people went in and started doing all kind of trouble across the border. Land, sea, and air. They came in last Saturday. I was at a festival on Paradise Island when I got the news that there was war between Hamas and the Israeli nation. And I listened to reports, practically take a half a day, because I didn't quite get it right away. But WIOD, I listened on radio for almost several hours, and they gave report after report after report after report on what was happening over there, hearing remarks from leaders in the United States, heard remarks from the president himself, say they're backing Israel. And here's another thing you got to watch out for. See, Bahamians, we got to listen, you know. We have to learn sense. You got people right in the United States from that same place who are now citizens of the United States. And they're pulling and having demonstrations in favor of the terrorists. They're blaming the people of Israel for what happened to them and say the Hamas people are justified for murdering children. We any crap like that? You see why we have to be careful who we have citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? Of course, those citizenships could be revoked. But we don't want it to get to that point where you have those kind of people in your country creating food confusion. But that's what's happening right now. And there are people who sit in the Congress of the United States who are given credence to those wicked terrorists. It is important that the leaders of the country understand the seriousness of citizenship Now you had the Haitian man, his wife, and his 2 daughters, or 2 children. I don't know if they're boy and girl. I want to see the evidence from the Constitution. And I challenge the government of the Bahamas to bring the evidence. I've checked every single article on citizenship. And those 4 individuals could not qualify, cannot qualify. Impossible for them to qualify. But they got one piece of paper say they're Bahamian citizens. You any crap like that? The minister say he did nothing wrong. The prime minister say they did nothing wrong. You know all of them just tell you that? Is it true or false? They're not constitutionally sound. Let me put that out there. The Immigration Board is not constitutionally sound because what they did is contrary to the Constitution. It's just as simple as that. You have to tell them, Bahamians. But all of you got your mouth all pin up, like you got glue on your mouth. But you don't want to say anything about that. You can let them take the place down here. Not as long as Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson is around here. There are some others who are taking action. I can assure you that. Because immigration matter is probably one of the leading problems in this country. And I heard on another talk show where the current immigration minister, who was in another ministry, say he's going to investigate why some children were abandoned. A couple of children who were abandoned, maybe the parents or whoever was with them left them behind. And immigration people didn't lock the children up. They just left them. The parents left them or whoever they were with, because you don't know whose parent. See the problem with these people? You don't know who's who. That's a problem in this place. When I went to school, they had to know who my mother was, who my father was. And you had to bring proof of that. But today look like anything goes now. Anybody could come and say they're a guardian or they're a parent or they're the mother, they're the father. Everything all mixed up. So now the comment was, I heard on a report that he was going to investigate that. You think they're serious? We have such heavy immigration issues that need urgent attention. It is stifling the growth of this country. It's all over the nation, all over Abaco, all over Grand Bahama, even in Andros. I'm talking about the province. They just all over the place over here. But those who have been given the authority to run your national affairs, I don't see any improvement. Where this major national problem is being dealt with. When I was asked whether they're going to do anything about it, I said, all you do is check the evidence. Check what they have done so far. Look at the past record and see the evidence for yourself. That's all you have to do. It's dismal. And people are complaining all the time about these issues. And we just see new faces all the time, just showing up. We have no national identification card. We need one, you know. We need to have every single person clearly identified. The national insurance card could have been that, but that's not the case. We need to know who is in this country, who are citizens, who are residents, who are here on work permits. Some people have been here for years. They're supposed to be out of the country if their work permits are being renewed. That's not happening. And I understand, as reports have been coming to me, that people are being forced, these persons who are working on these work permits, they got to go and pay for their own work permit, whereas the employer is supposed to do that. Or they might not be working for that employer, they're working for somebody else. So we have a lot of problems there dealing with human beings in the immigration issue. It's a serious problem. We have serious citizenship problems in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Who's a Bahamian? Who's a citizen? How does one qualify to be a citizen? Only the Constitution can answer that. And the Constitution is specifically clear. Naturalization ended in 1974, July of 1974. But yet you have a lot of strangers. That was for the people of the British colonies who had some arrangement with the Bahamas at that particular time. That ended in July of 1974. You got to have a referendum on that article. But yet you see it in the papers. Oh, large numbers of strangers say they want to be naturalized. It's not constitutionally sound, Bahamians. See, these are the kind of issues we need to be dealing with. These are the kind of things, Bahamians, we ought to be talking to our representatives about. But some of you are just tiptoeing around these serious issues, which can crush all of us if we don't do something about it. I'm working to do something about it. And those who know me and understand what I'm all about will know that. So I'm not just talking it on the air, not doing anything about it. Now, I said there's no constitutional evidence to show that those four persons, the man, the Haitian woman, well, his wife, she probably is a Haitian, and the Haitian children, those four who got citizenship, there's absolutely no constitutional evidence that they should have citizenship. None. I challenge them. Bring forward the proof. Show me from the Constitution what article in the Constitution that qualifies them to be citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In fact, they got this Bahamas Nationality Act, which says you don't have to renounce anything anymore. You could still be a citizen of the Bahamas. Any crap like that? The Bahamas Nationality Act is unconstitutional. It is ultra-vires. See, the Constitution says in Article 2, any other law that is inconsistent with this Constitution shall prevail. The Bahamas Nationality Act ultra-vires the Constitution in many respects. So which one will stand? The Constitution will stand. The Nationality Act will be thrown in the garbage. That's what's going to happen with that. But the fellow's still using it. Say they're making them citizens. We any crap like that. And we sit right here and allow this crap to go on. And they've been doing it for more than half a century. And Bahamians, we just sat back. But you say you didn't know, but now you know. So what are you going to do about it? Anytime when you ask anyone, what are you going to do about it? They just talk about the problem. While there's nothing wrong with talking about the problem. You got to solve the problem. And it takes Article 24.1. I always go to Article 24.1 because that's the place in the Constitution. The last part of Article 24.1. In fact, the last phrase in Article 24.1, which talk about people coming together to do what? To protect their interests. Not saying the government can do it for you, because the government may decide I ain't interested in doing that. Then what? Then it takes the people of the country to do something about it. Now we got another major problem where they want to send Bahamians, say they're going to go fight in Haiti. Now, you know, some very wicked things are happening in Haiti. We've seen the pictures. We've seen the evidence of the way these people live. They're very violent. Let us hope we don't ever get to that point. But if we just keep sitting down and allowing people to keep running over us and doing any and everything, that could possibly happen. See what Hamas done to the Israelis? You want another foreign entity to come in here and do that to us in the Bahamas? You get a couple of us wiped out. That could be practically half of your nation gone. You wouldn't want that. But let's avoid it then by being constitutionally sound. That's the only way it can work. And then you have to tell your representative. You have to tell the government of the Bahamas. When they are going wrong. So who's going to fight for the Bahamian people? Are you ready to fight? Because they're having the Israeli people come together to fight. When the Bahamians going to come together to protect what we have. See, we already have some things in place where our mothers and fathers have fought for us. We didn't fight for those things. We came after them. We have the benefit of their hard work. Now, what are we going to do? Because we got some problems right now that our mothers and fathers did not face. Are we going to just fall down on the ground and tell these scores of thousands of children there's nothing we could do? Is that what we're going to do? We're not demonstrating character if we do not set a proper example for those who are coming after us. I got plenty of pigeons coming after me. They want a future in this country. They must have a future in this country. We must fight for them to have it. Even as my mother and father fought for me, the pigeons they had about 12 pigeons, 9 of their own and 3 grand pigeons that were in one roof. And I must say they were strong parents. We don't even have that today. Where's strong parents today? That is lacking. See, so many things are lacking in this country. So Bahamians, we got to start working now. So I'm hoping, as a result of this show today, and please call me, 465-5786, 465-5786. Now, don't call me while I'm on the air. Call me after the show. Because I want to help you to be organized on the ground where you are. That is extremely important. That's constitutionally sound. The Constitution says any other law. Now, let me just add something else that just came to my head. You see all these funny things the government of Bahamas has signed? All these treaties and memorandum of understanding and what else they got in there? All kind of funny things. CEDAW. I asked the lady who was talking about the CEDAW, say, you think the women in Baintown know about that? The people in Fort Fincastle where I live, those women don't know nothing about no CEDAW. That's a foreign language to them. So who are we organizing for? For who? We have all kinds of agreements. You can't keep up with all of them. But we have to investigate each one of them. That's a lot of hard work, Bahamians. But we have to look at them one by one by one to examine the evidence to see if it's constitutionally sound, just like I'm doing on the show with the Bahamas Nationality Act. I've done several shows on that and have shown hard core evidence that the act is not constitutionally sound. And many other laws that have been passed in the House of Assembly, see, you got to check them out too. Are they constitutionally sound? Article 2 tells you in the Constitution, any other law, regional law, statute law, international law, UN law, US law, British law, any other law which is inconsistent with this Constitution shall prevail. But then the fellows say they want to run this place. And not a single word about the Constitution. That's what infuriates me. That's why we keep making all these crappy mistakes. That's all. They want to write things on scraps of paper and say that's how they can govern the country. And we have sat back and heard this nonsense over and over and over again. And that's why we are in the predicament we're in. See, everything that you look at must be exercised through the Constitution. Everything. So that's very important that we do that. The lines are open 3260271, 3260272. Amos, I got to tell you the truth. I ain't come here to play, you know. I come here to talk serious business because my country is in deep, deep trouble and is sliding down and getting deeper into trouble because we're not doing anything about it. Everything has to be examined in light of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. And like I said, I've heard a lot of people talking about the upcoming election. It may be a by-election. And I've heard comments being made as to who they want and who they don't want. Never a reference to the Constitution. The Constitution speaks to representation. What a representative ought to be doing. But we ain't checking. I mean, how did we get all mixed up like this? How, Bahamians? And you hear all kind of crappy foolishness and nonsense from people out there who you think ought to have sense. But let them open their mouth. And the nonsense that come out of their mouth. Now, they may be speaking in ignorance and may not understand. So I have to look at it in that light. See, I know better. And many of them been saying things where they hear some other person tell them, but they never check the Constitution to see if it is sound. Let me give you an article. Article 52.1. Parliament may, by permission, pass laws. 3 specific ingredients are mentioned in this article. And if the law doesn't have those 3 specific ingredients, it is unconstitutional, Bahamians. Simple as that. It is null and void. But we ain't checking. We got people in that house who are making laws and they don't even know Article 52.1. You got people in the Senate sitting there saying they passing laws. Just rubber stamping. Our Senate is a complete waste of time. It is not doing its mandated job to scrutinize these pieces of legislation that come from the lower house. Did that rubber stamp it and send it on to get signed? What kind of crap is that? But it's happening. It's been going on for too long, Bahamians. And we sat back and let that foolishness go on for 50 years since independence. Nothing has ever been turned back. They just rubber stamp it. Boom. What's the point of having them there? You might as well eliminate the Senate. Well, actually, you can't do it because it's in the Constitution. Let me get back to that. but it isn't serving any useful purpose. That's the point. Then you got some fellas who jump from the Senate, say they want to go in the lower house. Then when they get kicked out of the lower house, they go and say they want to go in the upper house. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? It should be for veterans who will scrutinize what comes from the lower house. But they got some greenhorn fellas in there. I heard one of them the other day say he's a senator. But that's the way they play things. That's the way it is, Bahamians. We have to fix a lot of things in this place. Because we are very weak nationally. We got too many problems. Too many social problems. Too many problems constitutionally. We are not constitutionally sound. We have to run this place by the Constitution. The lines are open, 3260271, 3260272. Maybe you all go and sleep on me today. Man, this is October the 12th. This is supposed to be a holiday. But some fellas decide they want cancel Columbus Day and say they're having it, what they call it, All Heroes Day, a day for heroes, National Heroes Day. I don't know what impact that is having. We'll have to look at that one. But a lot of people like those Queen's honors. They want that honor from the Queen. They get that badge, certificate of honor. Oh, they love that. They put on their best clothes to go up to Government House, to stand in the yard and eat hors d'oeuvres. I think we're going to break. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. We'll be back after the break.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
We are back. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on Global Radio Network 99.5 FM, sitting in for Michelle Malcolm. We have a caller on the line. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Thank you for taking my call, Professor.
Yes, ma'am.
I have been listening to you from the time you came on the show with Michelle on Mondays, and
yes, ma'am.
A lot of questions been asked, like what we need to do, because like you're talking today about all the wrong stuff that's been going on
yes, ma'am.
With our Constitution, and then like only what I know there are people that are out there advocating and stuff like that, but the people that are out in the front, I have been seeing this really Lincoln Bain and the people that support him. I support Lincoln Bain myself, and I support whoever gonna be doing what is right for our country and making sure our Constitution it be in the supreme law of the land. Yes, so my question is to you, and you know, my thing is, you know, I live in the United States, okay, and I follow everything home. And I want to come back home, but the condition of home and what's going on, I'm watching, and I'm sure there's a lot of diaspora doing the same thing. Yes, we want to come back home, but the thing about it is, we don't have no lawyers out there that went to school and want to help us to, you know, to go there and fight. For the Constitution, and only the few people that always go protesting and stuff like that. And you had some ideas of what we need to do. I feel within myself that people need, like the people who has like out there in the forefront, like memes, like us, the locals who fighting behind Lincoln. No, they're not even listening to us. We need like people out there that names are big out there that we know people are going to help to follow, to help take this caravan to where it's supposed to be. How can we do that? Like people like you, I know that you're doing it. People like you, Michelle, Steve McKinney. If all of us stand together with Lincoln and the people who are fighting for the same thing, I think we can make this work. But how can we get all of these people together? I mean, like, the big names that people would listen to, that the news would follow, the media would follow. How can we get these people out there to help us?
You asked a very good question. And what I've found out is that, you know, there are certain persons who are not prepared to really get involved in the fight. What I have said to people is, I look at it a little differently, because you see the demonstrations have been having, they are not having any effect at all. And I simply say Listen, there are creative things we can do to deal with any government that steps out of line. The point is that what has been happening, the demonstration, you get 20, 30, 50 people. See, if I can be involved in a demonstration, I need 50,000. I settle for nothing less than that. I tell you that right off the top.
Yes.
If you're serious, then you see what I said about organizing on the ground? See, I know my people, you know. I know them quite well. I've been dealing with them for more than half a century.
How can we get them out?
Here's what has to be done. You test the temperature of the water. I say, here you are on a particular street. Do you speak to your neighbor right next door to you? The neighbor on the right side of you? The neighbor across the road from you? The people on your side of the street? Do you communicate with them? Do you talk to them? See, we are organized according to constituencies.
Okay.
You have to be organized on the ground. Ground organization is extremely important. I appreciate what the others are doing. They're having the demonstrations, but I keep saying they're not effective. Someone wants to organize a demonstration in Grand Bahama. And I said, are you sure the people in Grand Bahama are ready for that? They invited me to speak to the meeting. I don't have a problem speaking because they told me to speak on the Constitution. I'm to send them some information on the Constitution. I am simply saying what is constitutionally sound. See, no one could stop it if you're constitutionally sound. It takes people, and I say to them, if you ain't satisfied with the people who are doing it, then choose some others who you believe you have confidence in to do it. But don't just sit back and do nothing. That doesn't make any sense. What is common to all of you on that particular street? What is common to all of you in that particular community? I mentioned two things: bad roads and poor lighting all over New Providence. And the people in New Providence just sit in the dark. They drive on these bad roads, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution says it's unconstitutional. All kind of big roads, depriving you of your life, making it difficult for you, frustrating you. I was frustrated just trying to get here.
Oh, my God.
But it takes people to understand things are happening. The man wants to send people to Haiti now. Okay, the prime minister. Yes, and then he ain't quite sure what the arrangements are supposed to be. You see how they're operating? And so you listen to what they say, watch what they do. And I say to people, you need to look at what is happening to your country. Our country is falling apart badly. We're dropping badly. Now we have to stop this toboggan slide.
Yes, but Professor, I'm gonna say this before I go.
Yes,
if we get really like I said earlier in my comment, people that people respect and look up to, and these are some of the people that that don't like what's going on either. If we get those people, and if we go on different shows and we talk, because I think
Yes.
I see the Thurston guy. I forgot his
Yes.
first name.
Yeah,
He been on a show, and I think he's advocating for the natural resources, and
Yes.
so I think we need to be more effective in that area. In terms, like you said too, you talk to your neighbors and stuff. But sometimes the neighbors, them, they F&M and they PLT and some of these people, we don't have no togetherness to get these people out. We really need to do something, because we are saying the same thing over and over, and we're not getting anywhere.
No, you are quite right. See, what has happened is they are so politically polarized. What this party against that party. So people are looking at it through political eyes. This has been going on for more than half a century. I had to wait 50 years for people to realize we got a constitution. Do you know that? I tell them that all the time, but I vex with them, I just happen to know better than most of them. And it is my duty as a citizen of the Commonwealth of Bahamas to help them to understand this most important document. This is the only thing we have to save our lives. We don't have anything else. Scraps of paper where the people write foolishness on it. You can't take that to no court. This Constitution could stand up in the court. But we aren't looking at that. You hear them talking about the by-election. I think it's going to be a by-election. All I'm saying is the things that people are saying right on the air, right up to the day before I came to the show, they know little or nothing about what the Constitution says in relation to the by-election.
But Professor, I have to go now. But
Yes,
I think we need to have at least 3 or 4 months of just organizing and putting people on the ground, and we need to have like flyers, and we really need to rally the people.
Yes, ma'am.
Because a lot of people don't listen to the radio show. A lot of people do, it's not on the groups, and a lot of people don't know. So we really need to have boots on the ground.
No, I agree with you. See, I know about having boots on the ground. I've been doing that for more than half a century. I know how the system works. All I'm simply saying is the Bahamian people are so politically polarized. So you will not even hear me call the name of a political party when I'm live on air. I will speak to it from a constitutional point of view, party representation, parliamentary representation. Now, there are people who belong to their political groups. That's fine. That's constitutional. They could do that. But when you're organizing people for a national cause, you rally them around the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. See, the people say they want to run things, but nobody is talking about the Constitution. I listen to them all the time talking foolishness. Say they want to run the place. And all of them messing up the place because they don't know the Constitution.
Well, Professor, we are in trouble, and if we continue this, if we continue this, we're not going to get nowhere. We're just going to lose our people. We're going to lose our children. People get discouraged. So we need to refresh something like it. The computer. We're going to go there. We need to refresh it, and we need to come back and come back strong. But anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Professor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the call. The caller made a good call. And I see that's why I want to come into your community and talk with you. I can help you to get organized, That's not a problem for me. But I need your cooperation. 465-5786. 465-5786. I'm not interested in what political party you belong to, That's not an issue. That is a personal thing. But you got bad roads and bad lighting that affect all of us on the island of New Providence, and all be sitting in the dark doing foolishness. I believe you have a caller on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Professor, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
I see you running the show today.
Pardon?
But I see you running the show today.
Well, management called me in.
This Kendall Hanna from the Bahamas.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, you see that lady? She says she lives in the United States. She a Bahamian. You see, it take an outsider to see the slop these people in Grand Bahama. See, when you're in the slop, you can't feel and see the slop because you're in the slop. An outsider can see the slop. I grew up in the States. I'm a Bahamian. I'm here home. So I can see the slop because I'm an outsider. All we doing is talking. I listen to your show, Mr. Thompson. I listen to Michelle Malcolm. But weeks, days, months, yes, we just talking. We need, like the lady to say, we need to put some intuition because we ain't doing it, Professor. Flyers, we need to get together, go on the road, don't go to work. We need to suffer, hungry. We ain't ready for that. Know why? Because the set who getting paid and PLP, they are straight. The set who getting paid from F&M, they straight. So they ain't fighting for nothing because like it's been for years. They gave me this, they helped me this, I get this contract, but you got a lot of us out there ain't in touch with that and they ain't getting that and we suffering. So we got to suffer, Professor. You in the Constitution, you believe in it, you stand by it. So let's do some Constitution. Get your poor people out there and let's go, man. Forget this talking, please.
Okay. Yeah. All right, caller. But I'm going to take up the challenge with him. You see, he challenged me. So I'm going to give my number out again, 465-5786. I need you to call me, Bahamians. See, I'm prepared to work with others. The Constitution calls for that. It's not for just one particular personality. I'm just one Bahamian, but see, I just happen to know the document better than most. And I am trying to say to them, I need you to act on the information. That is important. Mr. Producer, I think we have a caller. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please. We don't have a caller. Okay. Bahamians, listen. See, we need to start moving now. Right now, today. You cannot wait any longer. Those who've been having the demonstrations, I am saying to them, we have to look at it differently. We have to come with some creative ways of doing things, because obviously the numbers are not there. What do we have to do to get? See, I want 50,000. I ain't settling for nothing less than that. I can tell you that right off the top, so don't waste my time. We need to be organized on the ground, like the lady said, boots on the ground. I think we have a caller. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Professor Sidney Mahato, Walter Thompson.
You got it right.
Berenice Johnson, the original. Let me give thanks to the Almighty God through Jesus Christ of Nazareth, enveloping us in the Holy Spirit. See, you are a true journalist. I was banned from this show with all the information that is necessary to, first and foremost, with Dr. Miles Monroe, clear the Lyndon Pinling name and have respect for our nation leaders. And you know, I spoke with you when they used my name to have all kind of march, these United Women and Women United, and I was never affiliated with them. And they need to stop being hypocritical, okay? Because I respect and always 100% in Jesus' mighty name, my mortal boss, Hubert Alexander Ingram. And what has brought this on is the disrespect of nation leaders, Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. And you know I have been on your show with you, Bishop Gregory Macaulay, and Mr. Martin Albury.
Yeah, that's correct.
Until we clear that name, until we clear our Prime Minister's Lyndon Pinling name and have it placed in the executive order of the United States of America, I told Her Excellency for Life, Dame Margaret Pinling, that it shall happen, and God forbid, it had to take. God allowed the death of Obadiah, Honorable Obadiah Hercules Wilson, because I had a communication with him. I even told him to run for leader against the same present Prime Minister who God Almighty ushered in. So all the audio, Mr. Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, you are a witness, and you just hear me calling into these shows and they cut me off. As a journalist, if once you are a professional journalist and not have an agenda, you will allow and permit an individual to speak. And I was the lead investigator from 1980, knowing that Mr. Ingram was going to be Prime Minister, and he was only a member of Parliament then in the PLP. So we need to get the history and all of this with the Constitution that I respect. We have the information reference to why the Nationality Act had to be enacted to cause the National Insurance Board to have grandfathered in citizens so they can accumulate money.
Berenice,
the reason. Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the Bahamas Nationality Act?
I know why it was enacted. I left.
Yeah, but it's unconstitutional.
No, it's not. It's really not unconstitutional. Hear me, Mr. Professor, because you are a man of wisdom. I am stating it was enacted in law. Yes, it's not in the Constitution. It was supposed to be taken into a referendum. Okay,
so that makes it.
I understand the criteria.
Yeah, but you see, the whole thing is fraud. It's fraudulent.
Well, then the entire National Insurance Board is a fraud because they had to do it to collect monies in order to issue out. You understand my point? And now it has to be placed in Constitution. That is the point. And all of the Honorable Loftus Roker and all those people knew this. Okay? This was before Mr. Ingram got into came into politics, because he entered in politics in 77. That happened in 1975.
Okay.
That's why I defend my mortal boss, and only Jesus Christ of Nazareth can get between us. And now God allowed the actuality of the Honorable Obadiah death to clear Sir Lyndon Finley's name, and all the finances that I speak about can be accessed. They micro-size my mother boss, Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram, in this LTE when they were turning on this new technology system. This was supposed to be in partnership with the United States of America for the universal security infrastructure. And that is why I take this chance to call you, because plenty people out there know. And that man who called himself a certain what do you call it? Not analog, but technology. God validate this woman named Berenice Johnson to deal with this situation and share with our prime ministers.
Okay,
and let me close again, because they set up Mr. Fred Audley Mitchell. It's more qualified to be disrespecting former Prime Minister Perry Glass.
All right, Berenice.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you for your contribution. Now, she went on with a whole lot of other things. We have examined the Bahamas Nationality Act. We know the time it was passed. It is unconstitutional. It's an unlawful piece of legislation. It cannot be used because it's unconstitutional. It is being used by the government of the Bahamas today. Say they're naturalizing people. Naturalization ended in 1974, July of 1974. That was only for the British people, those the United Kingdom and colonies. Let me get it right now. United Kingdom and colonies. That ended in 1974, but they got a whole army of people now they naturalizing. Any crap like that? You cannot take a statute law and let it supersede the Constitution. It can't work. Now, all those other things Berenice was talking about, I'm not familiar with that. But I certainly know the Bahamas Nationality Act is not constitutional. It never was. And it could never be constitutional because it was never, ever put to a referendum. That makes it null and void. Okay? Nothing supersedes the Constitution. And if people had some ulterior motives of putting it in place, that's the whole horse of a different color. But you can't just jump up and make laws like they did at that time, and we know when they did it, and then say, hey, we did it because we did this. No, it can't go that way. See, that's why the country is all messed up now. And every time I hear these political parties say they want to run things, not a single word about the Constitution. That bothers me, you know. They tell me where their head is at. We need people in the House of Assembly who are going to run this place constitutionally. That's it. Lock, stock, and barrel. You can't be just doing a lot of foolishness. Because we got all kinds of pieces of legislation that have been passed in that house which are unconstitutional. And I heard someone, when the Cedar woman was on, she said that the person said that they could not go along with certain points in the Cedar legislation because it's unconstitutional. And she was told that they would have to have a referendum in order to change it. Well, you have to have a referendum. I like it that way. I want them to call a referendum so we could put something on them. Huh? You don't willy-nilly the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas with any statute law. It cannot supersede the Constitution. Article 2 of your Constitution. But see, the people who run in the place don't respect the Constitution. See, I got a problem with that. The very ones we have chosen to do our national affairs, check the evidence, check what is there now. That's why I say with the Haitian man, the woman, and his 2 children, none of them qualify under the Constitution. Not a living one. But the man say he make them citizens. Put their names on one scrap of paper, say they're citizens. And that's what they've been doing. Writing up all kind of crappy things. These are the things that are pulling the country down. We have to tell them. And that's been going on for a long time, Bahamians. That doesn't make it right. I tell you, the office of deputy, well, that's not even an office. But there's no such thing as no deputy prime minister. Just go all the way back to the beginning. It is not in your constitution. Get that in your heads, Bahamians. But you see, got the fellow walking around here saying he's deputy prime minister. But you see, these are the crappy things we allow to go on. And so they think now, because they've been doing it for so long, it's right. You've been thieving all along. You've been robbing people all along. And all of a sudden you were caught. Now you say it was okay because you were not caught back then. It doesn't make no sense. Either we're going to run a country according to law. They always like to say we're a nation of laws. They got plenty of law. But constitutional law is supreme. And constitutional law is never wrong. See, that's the difference between constitutional law and them other funny things. Huh? Constitutional law is always right. It could never be wrong. Now, if you want to change it, you got to have a referendum. It's just as simple as that. We're going to a break now. This is Professor Sidney McGarter, Walter Thompson. I thank those people who called in. You kind of call in kind of late now, but still call in nevertheless. We still have a little bit more time. We'll be back after the break.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels, so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Less is love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
We're back. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. Let me say this to the Bahamian people. See, I tell you, if I'm going to be involved in any demonstration, it got to be 50,000 and up. Okay? We can't be playing around anymore. You need to be organized around the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It doesn't matter what party you belong to, as long as you're a Bahamian citizen, and you don't need to be in any party to be organized around your Constitution. You could be outside of a party, you could be in a party, you could be a member of a party, you could be a leader of a party. It doesn't matter. The Constitution is the only thing that can hold us together. You have a call? Oh, okay. The Constitution is the only thing that can hold us together. Payments, that's what we've been ignoring for too long. That's why I am very strong on the Constitution. If we go according to the Constitution, we will always be right. But then if you want to do some other funny things, you're going to be constitutionally not sound. And that's going to pose a problem. So I said my number, 465-5786. Call me on that number, 465-5786. After the show now, because I want to help you on the ground where you live, right there where you live. See, I know how you all go, 50,000 or nothing. You can't go for nothing less than 50,000. Right here on the island of New Providence. We got the numbers. The numbers are here. So what you fooling around for? Huh? Let's get serious. Let's organize ourselves on the ground. The information I'm giving you on Mondays, please listen, follow it, organize yourself. If you're not sure, you call me and I'll get you organized. 465-5786. 465-5786. This has been Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. Have a pleasant day, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on